Howdy y'all, welcome to Travel to Board. I'm Corey.
I'm Scott.
I'm Lucas.
And today we are doing our top 10 game mechanics. I've never understood, is it mechanics or mechanisms? I've literally seen this argument a million times of which one it actually is.
Same.
I'm going with mechanics. You tell us the argument. I literally have seen people get mad over this conversation. And I don't know. Whatever.
I wish I had that much time on my hands.
We're going to go with mechanics. This one is interesting for me because I feel like the more I looked at mine, the more I realized I'm a unicorn. No one likes the things I like. You're here to be like, all right, what did Corey say this time? It feels pretty similar to the other lists. But when it came to this one, like we always do, how'd you guys make your list?
Thought about it.
Scott put in the heavy brain work.
So I started by going through a list on BGG and going, I know what that is. And that goes on the list somewhere. And then I started, then I got to the point where I was like, I don't know any of the rest of these. So now here's where we go to. What games do I like? Okay, I like these games.
Mm-hmm.
What mechanics do they have? I don't know. Okay. I like that one. That one's cool. Yeah, that's the one I like about this game. And then I got to the end and went, there's one thing in here, but I don't have anything for it, and I made my own up. And it probably is.
We're excited for that one. That one's going to be a good time.
Is it low on the list? High
Yeah,
on the
well,
list? Don't tell us the number. Just
It'd probably be higher if I really thought about it, but currently it's low.
Okay.
It's 8. I'm guessing it's 8. So for me, I had weird criteria, as I always do. I started by going, what are my favorite games? What mechanics do they have? Kind of looked at that. But then my real core measurement for this one was, how excited do I get when I find out this mechanic's in it? There's one that you literally heard me run around the house screaming, being excited that it had a mechanic in it. So that's pretty much for me was excitement level. So, ready to get started? What? You trying to figure out which one it was?
Does it start with an R?
It might start with an R. It might start with an R. It might be somewhat high. Let's get started. All right.
Oh, I guess I start.
Yeah, it's on you.
I'm out of whack. All right.
It's been a little while since we've done this. We've had a little bit of a hiatus.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got home. Number 10 for me is going to be a weird one because you wouldn't have guessed this on the list. It's tech trees or specializations.
Yes, my God.
I really like having to choose a specialty, and tech trees force that. Like you go through. I've always liked branching options, like in Borderlands and video games and things. But when it comes to board games, I think it adds a lot to the game to have to look ahead to where you're going, and then also be able to balance that with other mechanics in the game. So I really like tech trees. This is my number 10.
I love it. I didn't know if tech trees would make either of you guys' list because tech trees I feel like aren't used enough in board games.
I agree.
Like I feel like too often if it is used, it's in like a very minor capacity. It's not one of the main arguments of the game. And this is a small one, but like we just played the Fox Experiment. Just having to choose which path on that tree you want to go down, I thought was really enjoyable. Do you want to make more foxes? Do you want to get more dice? Which way do you want to make your upgrades? I thought that was really interesting. So I didn't know tech tree would make someone's list or not.
It was literally one of the games I was thinking about when I thought about it.
Yeah, and we literally just played that one too. I was telling him earlier, you guys know I go way past 10 when I do these lists. I only wrote down 15. I went to 32.
Oh.
Yeah, I only wrote down 15 though. Tech Tree was 12. So Tech Tree was just missed. I really enjoyed it though. Good pick. Scotto.
My number 10. It's a very common mechanic, but I think it's one that helps balance a lot of games, and that's a river with tax specifically. So that the newer cards that everybody wants, you have to pay to get it. So people aren't just rewarded randomly, like they have to pay through the nose if they want the cool new thing. And the people who are patient and willing to say, actually, I'll just wait for coins to stack up on that one, they get an incentive for getting the less desirable cards. It helps even out a lot of card selection in those kind of games.
So do you prefer it more when it's just, when it comes in it's more expensive, or when people have to leave either resources or money on the cards to take them?
Both.
Yeah.
Either way, as long as there's a direct incentive. I really like the trickle down of adding a coin to each card.
Yep.
Because then there's a very visual indication of oh, nobody wants this. Why is that?
Well, I mean,
10 coins. Right?
This isn't even cards, but the one that the first time I ever saw this was Small World. Your factions and your powers having to leave the money behind each, or the points, whatever, behind each time, and like eventually the bad one would just get so full that you're like, I mean, I have to. So,
It's not a choice anymore.
it's like, I mean, at this point, I'll take anything. So, like, yeah, like you'll have like a pile of 8 on there, and you're like, fine. So, I really enjoyed that one too, and I appreciate the notion. We'll talk more later. We'll talk more later. You scratched an itch, but it's still itching.
Okay.
All right, my number 10. It's a mechanic, but some people might even argue it's not, because it's less of a mechanic and more of just this is how the game works, if that makes any sense. Resource management. I love when you just give me a bunch of resources and you just say you have to plan how to spend these for cards. You have to save these up because they're, even if it's just money, you have to plan to spend this later. I love having to plan out how to gather and spend what I need to efficiently, because I am the king of efficiency. My favorite thing at the end of a game is when I look at my board and I'm like, there's nothing left. I did this as perfectly as you could possibly do this. That's what I love. So you could argue if it's even a mechanic. I think it is, because like the entire idea of most of these games is gathering and spending. So resource management for me is top tier.
So, Corey, how many games of Wingspan have you lost by having no resources left on the
All right, so here's the thing. The statistical odds. I lost to him in Wingspan by a tie the other night. The statistical odds of tying in Wingspan, as much as I have, I break all odds. I break statistics. It's ridiculous. I bet I've tied between you and someone else 7 times.
You know, I think
6 times?
I think he's lost every tie to me because I
I
haven't thought about it until just now.
have never won a tie. I think you beat me in a tie at least 4 times.
I think so.
Every time.
I was doing the math in my head.
Because
think
I
you're right.
am the king of efficiency. I wipe my hands and go, nothing left. Look how good I did. Oh, what's the tiebreaker? Oh, not being efficient. Cool.
I got these random worms. I don't know where the game's from.
Every time. So I love resource management. I'm really good at it if the goal is to not have any.
Too good at it, Corey.
Yes, I'm so proud of it too. When I lose because of it, I get so mad because I'm so proud. I'm full of just joy when I look at an empty board and then it's like, ha, you lose. Sure, whatever. I'm just sad now. We're gonna move on to number 9. This must be happy. I'm just sad now. We're gonna move on to number 9.
All right, it's number 9.
Oh, I said 8.
Number
Oh,
9.
strap in.
So, the only way I can explain this, and I'll give you examples of what I'm thinking, but the mechanic is you've activated my trap card.
That's what you're titling.
That's what I'm titling it. Because I don't know how else to explain it.
Is this
I got you, mechanic.
Yes, but
is this mechanic anywhere but Yu-Gi-Oh?
yes, actually it is, because I think of multiple things. In fact, I'll give you a perfect example. The first time I ever played that Star Trek game, which the name escapes me because I've only played it one time my entire life, I beat 3 veterans of the game by attacking their ship and losing intentionally and winning by having all these cards that I played earlier in the game that were worthless, and they all got activated at the end. Another example is like with Element. When you're in Element, one of the things I did when I was playing, one of the first times we played, was surrounding someone with water, and they were like, oh, it doesn't matter because I can just go over it. Once you attach the silver to it, the water immediately turns electrified and they're trapped. I win the game. So it's like, all I have to do is wait for you to play yourself, or like you've moved this piece into, it's kind of like chess, like you've played yourself and I'm playing against you. But I set you up for the trap. I'm sure there's a name for it. There's got to be a name for it.
I'm going to go with gotcha mechanic, even though that's not really what you're describing.
I think he's just describing strategy.
I know, right?
No, it's not a strategy, because the thing is, like, this is intentionally, you have tripped the trap by playing into it. Like, it allows you to set up things in the future.
Would you actually can think of a good example for this, and I can pick a game. Blood Rage. Revealing the cards.
Yeah.
Half the time you're trying to lose. Gotcha.
Yeah.
right?
Well, I would even
Yeah, I
argue
agree.
that
Gotcha is not the right mechanic, but it's the closest thing I can think of.
Blood Rage is a great example. Another reason, because I think that the Loki strategy almost revolves entirely around it, because you're assuming you're letting them play efficiently, and you're going to beat them by them playing efficiently.
This is just going to be a theme of this list.
It's apparently going to be.
Just beating me down with this one, aren't we?
See, I know it's abstract, but like that's my thought process. One of my favorite things is to be able to outplay someone by letting them play the game the way they should, and then me being able to do the one thing at the end that goes, okay, actually you lose now because you played the game correctly.
I'm not arguing that it's a mechanic. There's not a name for this.
Yeah, it is. You've activated my trap card.
Okay.
Sure.
Sure.
I told you I'd rival him.
All right, Seto Kaiba. Moving on.
My number 9 is a much debated topic in the board game space, but trader mechanics. I love a good trader. When it's done well, it really sings.
Yep.
But there's a lot of people who don't do it well.
So are we talking just straight up trader or like social deduction?
Both.
Both. So you're grouping them.
Yeah, like
I group them too, but like there is a difference between like Werewolf and Shadows over Camelot.
Exactly.
I
Yeah,
agree.
but you're grouping them. Okay.
But like a hidden trader, like
Yeah.
where everyone above table knows there is likely a trader amongst us. We need to be on the lookout for what everybody's doing. Like that above table kind of concession can really add a lot of flavor to pretty bland games, in my opinion. It just adds a complete another layer to the social interaction at the table.
Trader / social deduction, I'd grouped them as well, was 15 for me. It was up there. And honestly, it's kind of crazy. Trader brings it up, social deduction brings it down. Because social deduction has kind of been, we've beaten that horse to death. Like there's so many at this point that all play so similarly, where I'm starting to lean much more towards trader games because they add a new element. Because typically in social deduction games, the entire point of the game is find the guy. In trader games, you're trying to beat a game and someone's messing you up. So that's why I tend to, like, trader brings it up, social deduction brings it down, but I agree they deserve to be grouped. So, like, trader might have made my list, but social deduction kept it off.
Some of my most fun times have been playing social deduction / trader games. I didn't make my list.
Really?
Yeah. Bet you didn't see that coming.
I didn't see that coming. I would have thought for sure. Because, like, I can name multiple of your favorite games or social deduction. Interesting. I would have guessed it would have been like 10, 9, 8, somewhere in that range, but not making it's crazy to me.
Well, so you said you ranked your games based on how much you enjoy playing them. I only enjoy playing them because it's with friends. I don't enjoy the mechanic at all.
Because of the game?
In fact,
That's
in fact,
fair.
the mechanic's enraging to me.
That's fair.
I hate trader mechanics.
Yeah.
But I've had a blast playing them.
That's fair. Well, see, because I'm going to shoe wedge this into every video I possibly can. But I mean, Shadows over Camelot just blasted into the stratosphere for me because I think that one specifically, the trader, is like the whole crux of the game. Every single decision you're making is like, can I trust you? I love it. It's fantastic. I want to fit Shadows into every single list we possibly do because I will keep it alive. Especially with what's going on right now. Someone has to. I've got this. All right. Whose turn is it? Is it me? I was like, what's going on? I was in the Shadows world. All right. So we kind of were just talking about this, but not at all. My number 9 is deduction. Not social deduction, just deduction. You've got Cryptid, 13 Clues. The whole point of the game is we gonna find out what the thing is. Like, I love just figuring out the puzzle. Deduction games are just a puzzle, and I love that. And obviously one of my favorite themes, if you go back and watch that list, is Sherlock Holmes. The vast majority of Sherlock Holmes-based games are deduction. So deduction for me is just, and it's kind of a double-edged sword with this one where, because for me, my measure was specifically excitement for when I hear about the game. Like, how does this game play? How excited am I? I'm kind of excited because it's deduction, but then I'm also excited because almost all the time with deduction, I'm excited about the theme. Whether it be like the Cryptid theme or the Sherlock Holmes or Jack the Ripper, anything like that, like I just get excited. So deduction sings for me on both ends. I'm actually kind of surprised it wasn't higher. I think one of the reasons it wasn't higher for me is that kind of similar to social deduction, you're kind of beating a dead horse. It's they're similar. Even though they do different things, they have different mechanics, they're similar enough that you really have to differentiate the games to draw it out. So I think that's why I get slightly less excited about deduction, is I'm like, okay, which one's it like? So, but still, it's my number 9. I love deduction games. Yeah. Moving on.
Sorry.
That's okay. It happens to the best of us. Number 8. Number 8. Number 8's going to come as no surprise. It's one that would definitely be on my list. And that's Take That, which is different from Trap Card
I
Mechanic.
did not think this was going to be on his list.
No, I like Take That. But it's different from Trap Mechanics. So Trap Mechanic, to me, is it doesn't have to have as a negative to someone. Take That's intentionally a negative. Like, you're intentionally doing something to harm someone else, like in their gameplay.
Hold on. We need to back this up a long way. We need to take like 5 steps back. We're going to start with, how many times have I heard come out of your mouth, that you like cooperative games, not competitive games, because you don't like to see other people lose.
Correct.
But you're saying in a game, you're fine with smacking people. There's some logical leaps here we're making that I'm not following.
I don't like to see people lose. I really enjoy being the reason they don't get to have fun. Who are you? This is why I don't play competitive games. It's because I don't feel good about winning. God, it feels great getting there. Well, it's one of those things where it's like, there's nothing I enjoy more than, like, this is a terrible example, but it's the Uno. Draw 4. Draw 4 more.
You were the kid that tore the wings off butterflies, weren't you?
Draw 2 more. Reverse. Just kidding. Draw 2 more. Like,
What is happening?
yes. It's a great time, and
Is the consolation prize for you at the end is that you kind of want them to win so they feel good, but you got to make them have 0 fun while they won?
I hate seeing people sad at the end of a game, but it is hilarious to me to like be in this situation where it's like, and that sucks for you. Oh, that also sucks for you.
Lucas, you realize I get far more sad playing a game when I just get the crap smacked out of me the whole game than when I lose. I would rather just lose. I would rather just lose. I would rather have just like played my game, finished out my board the way I like it, and then been, darn, Scott did better. Not take that.
Well, I don't like to target one person either. I like to spread it around and make sure multiple.
Hold on. I'll play games with you.
Well, no, if you're winning, you get targeted, but that's separate. That's strategy. But I enjoy the ability to say, "Oh, you know, it'd be real shame if you got to draw 1 less card this turn." So anyway,
I like that you have back-to-back sadistic mechanics. The only difference is one has bait, the other one does not have bait.
oh yes, there's both sides of the coin. I like it when you do it to yourself, and I just laid it out there before you. And then also, I like to be intentionally the one who does.
The best part is, I'm calling it now. His number 1's gonna be cooperative.
I know, right?
It's
It doesn't mean that I enjoy playing the game. It just means I enjoy the mechanic.
See,
everyone is currently questioning you as a person.
See, Lucas just has to get his heel turn in early so he can be the hero at the end.
I was not expecting this.
I was not either.
We gotta move on.
I'm shocked because I feel like we've talked about me being good at Take That games.
We have talked far more often about you being like, man, I just hate competitive. I hate watching people lose. Says the man that has the second highest win percentage of the group.
This year.
Touche. That's fair. You probably have the highest of the last 3 years. I'm having a good year.
You played more games than I have.
I have played more games. I'm racking them up this year. His win percentage isn't that great this year.
That was a Take That.
That wasn't great.
I don't choose to define my self-worth by that, Corey.
Okay. I do.
That was a trap card.
My number 8 is simultaneous play.
Woo!
It's the tried and true way to make it more players does not just equal more time.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Yes. I don't know how many publishers are going to watch my content, if ever. How many designers? Get your notepads. take it out, just start writing this down. Just let everyone know. We don't need the game to say between 2 and 5 hours. I would just like if it said 3 and we just moved on with our lives. And we were like, how many players you got? It doesn't matter. 3. You're a good man.
There's plenty of games that we just don't play with 5 people because why would we?
Right, it kills me. I mean, obviously we've beat this one to death, but Villainous, like that, like I'm not doing it. I'm not. You ask me to play with more than 3 people, I'll hit you. I'm not doing it. I've done it before, and it was the worst night of my life.
Yep.
It was terrible.
Yep.
I've done it twice, actually.
I didn't even play that night.
I didn't either.
Yeah, I know.
I was teaching 6 people, going behind every one of them, going, hey, this is like super simple game. What do I do again? And I'm just, it's pain to think about. Yeah. Anyway, that's a good pick. That's a really good pick. I appreciate that one. All right, my number 8, we're going to go back to what you were talking about earlier. We've got a crossover, sort of, kind of, but we're going to call it yes because it is. River of Cards / Market. I was going to just put River of Cards, but I love markets, and then I got to think about it, and I was like, a River of Cards typically is just another kind of market. Like, you're just buying stuff. So, market / River of Cards. I guess the best way to put it is market is my mechanic, but my favorite type of market is a River of Cards. That's probably the best way to put it. I really enjoy when there's anything out there that we all have access to. We can, based on our turn, either decide we want to spend more, spend less. You don't want this person to take the card that you want, or the resource, or the worker placement area that you want, type market. Because I also like when they kind of mix the mechanics, and it's like it's a market, but it's a worker placement area, so you're doing both at the same time. It's like you have to worker place to go to the market, but then once you're at the market, you've got all these choices. I like when they kind of mix those mechanics, and I think there's so many different ways to do markets. And I agree one of the best ways to do it is when there's a tax you have to leave behind. But specifically Rivers of Cards are my favorite because I like the way that, like, obviously they're flowing down, like you've got the new cards coming in, but I like when the beginning cards fall off. So it's like every game, either the first one or the first 2, if they're not purchased, will fall off, and then everything moves down. So it's a constant rotating of cards and stuff. Because I've played so many games where it's like you've got a market and that's not happening, and 1 or 2 cards or resources or something just sit there the whole game as dead space, and you're like, now there was 4 things, now there's basically 3, because neither of us are ever going to take that 4th one. Exactly, and it just, so like anytime there's some there's some type of rotation of them, I think makes it so much better. So I love markets in general, but when they're River of Cards, they really sing. And when you leave a tax behind, they're even better.
Agreed.
Yep. So that's a straight crossover, essentially. Yep. All right.
We might have a few eventually. Number 7 for me is, and I looked this up. There's 3 subsections of this in the BGG list. I'm gonna put them all together. I like worker placement. It's a little lower for me, but I specifically like, because they were talking about having different workers who do different things. I love that. That's awesome.
Yep.
And also having DOS. We played.
DICE worker placement's incredible.
Yeah, we played Ahoy recently, which is essentially that same thing. I mean, it's more action economy than it is like I guess it is kind of worker placement.
Depending on your die, you essentially have 6 different types of workers.
Yes.
It's incredible. Yeah.
And it was awesome. It's a top-notch game. Can't wait for the expansion to come out where I can buy it. But I would say that like worker placement to me is similar to, I like being able to make choices, because that's one of the things that's going to make a big change in my next couple. I like to be able to make a choice. I like to be able to make sure that every action I have has an impact. There's so many games I play sometimes where it's like you just come to a place where your action doesn't do anything, or you like come to a turn and you're like, I do one thing.
Yep.
Cool. And then I get to watch Corey play, solitaire by himself over there, and on his turn.
I had a great time too.
Yeah,
I had a great time.
And then the thing is, it's like, oh, cool. Well, I got to move.
My favorite games to play with you specifically, because especially you, Mr. Take That, I'm gonna ruin your life, is when I'm like narrating my turns, and like I know, like I've planned everything out way ahead of time, and I'm like, that was a 13-point turn, and you're over here like, I got wood.
Yeah.
I'm over here like telling you exactly what I did and how I'm destroying you, and he's over here like, how?
Yeah, there's certain games where they aren't good for me, and I'm not good at that. So I don't like that, but I like it when I have a worker placement. I get to choose where it goes, and I have to choose them in order. Like, especially like viticulture, you have the grande worker. It's like, this one matters because I need to be able to use it sometimes for certain things. And so I think that's a really cool mechanic that makes things more fun.
Yeah, and then obviously the player interaction of, blocking each other, like taking a less good thing because it's super good for that person. Like worker placement just has such a trickle down effect.
Yeah, 100%.
Was it good?
Yeah, I know.
My number 7 is like another family of mechanics, but catch-up mechanics. I think that
Oh, I did not think of that. That's a good one.
they're a lot less common in older games, but it's just a way to eliminate the feel-bads of there's one person on the table who's been dunked on the entire game, and they might as well just walk away from the table because they're never going to have any more fun for the next 2 hours. It gives them a reason to keep playing, and they might have some fun still. So I like that, whether I'm there or not. If I'm in first place, I'd much rather the person in last have a catch-up mechanic.
I agree.
Like I said, I went all the way to 32. This wasn't anywhere on my list because I didn't think of it. And it escaped me somehow. That's a good one. If it wouldn't have made, I don't know if it would have made my top 10, but it would have been in contention. That's a good one. I didn't think of that. Applause for that one because, like, we all know this is true. Like, not even trying to be a jerk to some people. If you sit down in a group with, let's say, 5 people, there's typically at least one of them that's a little behind. They don't play as many games. They're not as strategic. They're into different hobbies. It's very nice to still have that person be able to be a part of the game, even if they're in last, because the game is helping them along the way. Because, when you play with that many people and you have such a mixed group that you want everyone to feel a part. So I can appreciate that for sure.
I really like the catch-up mechanics where it takes like the last 2 people and goes, you're a team now. It's you 2 against everybody else. That's really fun.
Yeah, we have one of the greatest stories of at the retreat playing Root.
Oh yeah.
That's one of the best stories of our group. It's fantastic. Especially because Carson was like leading the charge. He was making everything happen and everyone else was like, oh no, what do we do? Oh, we can't do anything? Great. It was great.
I feel like that's a rarity in games. I feel like it's way more rare than it should be because I think that makes or it's done poorly. Like I would argue, like an Ankh, where it's like you just.
I was literally gonna bring it up.
All of your pieces get put into one place, and now you get to sit and watch the other person play the character they've been playing the whole time.
I'm gonna make the same argument that I made last time. For those of you who complain about the team up mechanic in Ankh at the end, loosen up, have fun.
Yeah.
Just say, you know what? We got this. Let's go. And then just wreak havoc. Stop being so uptight. Just have fun. You know what I mean? Like, you're in last anyway. What did you expect? Did you think you were going to win? Probably not.
Hey, it's a little less fun, though.
He's not wrong.
Fine, my number 7. We have a same number crossover. Worker placement.
Oh, wow.
Worker placement, my number 7 as well. Everything Lucas said, there's not a whole lot more to say about worker placement. When he was talking about having different workers that do different things, while I agree the dice worker placement is super interesting because you're rolling each time, you got 6 different types of workers, all this stuff, right? I actually really like it even more when it's the bigger games like that have minis and stuff. And like perfect example, My Father's Work. You've got the servants and then the mom and the dad and like all these people, they can only go to certain places. They can only when they go to a place, they do an extra mechanic. And like I really like the specificity of like an area being locked. Like only this person can go there. So like you have to either gather more of that worker or save that worker. So like you want to use that worker for that one place that only they can go, or do you have other needs? So like I really like when like locations are locked not only to players but to specific workers. The other thing I feel like is lost on worker placement for a lot of people is I really like when you go to a worker placement spot, right? But you're not placing an individual worker. You're going, how many do you want to place there? And you like Stone Age. Yeah. You're like, that many. Oh wait, the dice really suck. That many. I really like when you just lay down a chunk of workers and you're just like, I'm gonna roll 7 dice today and we're just gonna have a great time. So I think that's lost in like Architects of the West Kingdom is one where like you just have an immense amount of workers. Like you just have so many. Like most worker placement games I feel like today are you get 2 workers and you can unlock 3 more, and when you're done you can have 5 if you're lucky. I really like when it's like, how many workers do you get? Throws a bag, pours out meeples. There's 20 in front of them. I think that's just like something that was used more, I feel like 10, 15 years ago and used less now. And I think that needs to come back.
I think Wingspan's really interesting in that you start the game with a whole bunch and you slowly lose them.
Yeah.
So you have to be like really particular about it.
I definitely prefer that over the starting with 2 going to 5 because everyone has the same thought of like, well, my first priority is get more workers every single game.
Every single game.
And the people who don't realize that's like, okay, well, you just lost. Sorry.
Yep. Yeah, well, and then one that me and you played that ended up like kind of like being super against your favor, and it was entirely luck based, is when we played Dinosaur Island. The dice gave me a worker for free, and I just didn't really have to do anything for it. I used 1 turn to get a worker, and Scott didn't even have that ability. Like, he didn't have the option to get a worker. So throughout the course of that game, I think we did the math, I got like 4 extra turns because I just got the worker way earlier than you.
Yep.
So it just ended up being like extremely like detrimental to you, and I ended up winning that one clearly because I would have had to have threw hard to lose because the game just said, here, more opportunities to do things. So yeah, I prefer to start with everything as well. Like, I almost go into games now when I know I have to earn workers and try to plan to not earn them right away and see if I can find another strategy because I know everyone else is going for that. So I'm like, if that's where everyone else is going, if I do that later, what can I do now? But it's about a 50-50. Sometimes it works out. Sometimes it's just absolutely terrible. And I go, oh yeah, those workers are real important.
Doing more things. It turns out it's good.
Yeah. Same number. We'll see if the top 6 stay that way.
No.
No. 100% not. I bet we don't have 2 more the same.
No, I bet we don't either.
I bet we don't have 2 more the same. All right, moving on.
Okay, so this one's going to go back to what I said about worker placement. Because the thing is, sometimes with worker placement, you don't get to do anything. So I specifically chose this one, and that's dice icon resolution. And so what that means is, and it's specifically my game that I'm thinking of, and there's a couple that do this, is King of Tokyo. No matter what you roll, you get something. Every dice face gives you something. I hate games when you roll dice and it's like, wow, 3 of those did nothing for me. Cool.
Yeah.
I just get to sit here today. But when I get to roll dice and every one of them does something, maybe not all want it, but I get something that I enjoy.
I'll tell you what I dislike as well is like, let's say you roll 4 dice and you're hoping for certain things, but you're forced to use it all. So one of your 2 that you didn't want is forced to fill a spot that you wanted to use later for something else, but you're forced to place that 2. I don't like that because then it's like, well, this entire slot now that I was excited to use is now completely blocked because I was forced into it. Yeah, so like that just feels bad.
I know this is like a normie kind of game, if I can say it that way. But like Yahtzee is the most unfun game to play if you have bad luck with rolls, and I do. Like, I have the worst of rolls, and so that's what I thought with this was like, cool, all right, so I get to roll these dice. Oh, I just don't get anything this turn? Fun. But I love rolling dice.
Yeah.
Shiny click clacks make me happy. So if I can roll the dice, I have a good point, like, and it's enjoyable to do, okay, I get things on all of this. And there are games that let you do like actions on all of it. And I think that's really cool too. And there's like, they allow you to perform actions or get resources. And I think back to like even, once again, going back to like Wingspan. Every dice gives you something. May not be what you want, but you get something from, there's no blank or there's no detriment. And so I enjoy that.
Yeah. Something that's not a mechanic, but is, I guess, a category more than a mechanic, and that definitely you would you would say you love is dice chuckers. Like I wouldn't call that a mechanic. That's more of a category. But like every single thing you're saying applies to almost every dice chucker there is.
Yeah.
You're literally just throwing the dice and going, what did I get?
Well, and I would say like one of the ones that made me think about this, also we were talking about the game earlier, was the Fox experiment. There are times when you roll something and you go, cool, so I can't use that. That didn't do anything for me.
Right. But the good news about that one though is you roll so many dice.
Yes.
That if you have one that's a waste, you're like, oh, that sucks. But
well, you
I
have the
all
ability to
dice.
augment it with the halvesies. But looking at the dice alone, there were times where I'd roll up, wow, I don't get any. There's nothing there. That's a 0. Cool.
Right, but at least that game, just to give it its flowers, like, well, what I mean is, like, they did a good job of mitigation.
100%.
Like, the games that give you no mitigation, you realize dice are hard to predict.
Yeah, and some people just
Kind of the point.
don't do great with them.
Give us a little mitigation. Because, like, go back to one of my favorites, we were talking about worker placement, like, everybody complains about the dice rolling and the randomness in Stone Age. That's why the tools exist.
Yeah.
Mitigation. Like if you're worried about the dice rolls, you don't like the press your luck side of just rolling the dice and sees what happened, there's a mechanic in there for you. There's mitigation. So like if you're going to include dice, you need some way to mitigate them, because then it just turns into a luck game. Whoever rolled better won.
Yep, sure.
So mitigation, highly key. But I like it. So what was your phrasing? Not dice chucker.
It's
What was-
dice icon resolution. It's different than dice rolling.
No, it is. Yeah.
So it's where every face of the dice gives something.
Mm-hmm. I like it. That's a good one.
I do.
Yeah, I like the way you phrase it too. Because like if I were to pick that, I would have just called it a dice chucker. Yours.
Oh, I'm not smart. That was on the list.
Oh, okay.
Listen, BGG and I are best friends. Like, I looked through this and I went, okay, I know what that means.
See, I take BGG as an entire website as a suggestion, and I
Yeah,
go,
that's fair.
how can Corey twist and bend this?
I feel like I'm not knowledgeable enough to make my own up, as clearly has already been stated in this one.
You're doing fine. You're doing fine, man.
You did good, Seto.
My number 6 is engine building. Engine building is always fun, whether you have a fine-tuned machine or a busted jalopy. That you're gonna make it work because you gotta make it work. It's always fun.
There's a couple in here.
Yeah, there's a few.
There's a couple in here. Yeah. We're not going to talk about engine building again. Go ahead and get it all out. This is the last time we're going to talk about it.
Okay, yeah.
It's great.
I've said my piece. I love engine building. I like seeing the fruits of my labor of watching all the cogs mesh together and having a 20-minute turn that people go, are you done yet?
Now, that's fair. I have done that. What game, do you remember what game we played? I sat there for literally 20 minutes waiting on you because I was like, I already have mine done. And I sat there for 20 minutes waiting on you to figure out what you were doing. I think, was it Earth?
Maybe.
You literally just sat there going,
Terraforming Mars was that way with him and Carson. They had all the blue cards, like, oh, I get to activate this one, and that allows me to do this thing. And I was sitting there going, wow, I wish I'd have got at least one of those.
I didn't see one the whole game.
Yeah, no, I didn't either. I didn't
One the
see
entire
one.
game. Yep. Oh, we played Terraforming Mars twice with you. You won both times.
Yeah.
See, I would say that engine building would be on mine, and I wanted it to be. You know what kept it off? Do you remember that game we played, Corey? It's the only reason I
Yeah,
can't.
you're real good at that game.
It's the most embarrassed I've ever been in my entire life. What that was?
All right, so this year at Gen Con, if you see Lucas,
Please don't.
he wants to play a game with you.
No.
You want to play Century Spice Road with this man. He's real good at the game. Really good at it.
I'm good at some games. That's not one of them. And I don't know why.
Do you want to tell him what your score was?
I didn't score anything. I had 0 points at the end of the game.
I skunked this man.
I don't know. I thought I had points, and there were no points.
This man, I can tell you exactly what happened because I'll never forget it. This man did not hide what cards he was going for in the slightest. And every single card he wanted, I bought first. Every single one. I was like, oh, he's going for that one? I can get there faster.
You know the worst
You did
part?
dirty, okay.
Yeah, just literally every card he wanted, I kept going for.
See, this is the problem, though. I didn't know what I wanted. See, he thinks I knew what I wanted. I remember this game just definitively. I don't. And I thought, I was like, man, I got some good cards in here. And then I was like, how he scored 12 points that turn? I don't have any. Okay. Oh, he scored more points. Oh. Huh. Well, what are we playing to? Oh, the game's over? Huh. So anyway,
That was one of the best games I ever
that's the
played.
only reason. I love engine building. It's a great time. I think it's cool, but I didn't make it on that list just because I was like, man, I'm not good at
We
it.
need to replay that. You only have one experience with it. I feel like you need another try.
Yeah, I'm less of a mouth breather with that style of game now.
Exactly. You need another shot. I'll give you another shot.
It's okay. We've played Blood Rage more than once. That's my
I don't want to talk
example.
about it. Me and Blood Rage have a love-hate relationship.
I have 100% win rate on my Blood Rage in this
I
game.
know you do. I have a 0% win rate.
I think.
No, you haven't.
I've never won Blood Rage against my friends. I've won it before, not against my friends. Because I will wholeheartedly say every time we play Blood Rage, the entire table looks at me and goes, not today, son. Today is not your day. Sometimes you guys leave me alone. But there's certain games we sit down and everybody just turns at the same time to me. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's how it's going to go. Cool. Terraforming Mars, you guys do that. Both times. Everyone turned to me and went, not today, man.
I'll play my own little game, though. What are you talking about?
You did it.
No, I lost that game.
Oh, you lost because you were blocking me out the whole time. That's my favorite part. Is most of the time the people who are just completely ragging on me also lose because they spend all their time ragging on me. And then Scott sits over here and goes, "Look, I made a thing." That was you?
Yeah.
Okay. Mine. I can't keep track of this. I cannot keep track of this stuff. All right, my number 6. This is not the last time you'll hear about this one. I know for sure it's on your list, and you're probably. I actually think this might be what I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna call it now. This is gonna be our only 3-way crossover, and I'm naming it first. My number 6 is drafting. Love drafting games. I might be right. I love drafting games. I recently discovered a drafting game that I absolutely adore that no one else in this world has probably even played. Oh. Don't Skip Leg Day. I love that game. It's fantastic. I love drafting everything. I love when we're drafting tiles, when we're drafting workers, when we're drafting cards. It does not matter what we're drafting. I love it. We played... me and Scott have played a lot here recently. We played Clans of Midgard, which was super fun, and like even playing 2 players with the 3rd player AI really it wasn't bothersome, but like I love when you're just passing them around, you're constantly getting to it, and like you're looking at your hand of 8 cards and you're going, all right, there's 3 people. Some of these are going to get back to me. No. So, that's my favorite thing too, is someone always gets analysis paralysis and they're staring at it and they go, it happens every time, and then inevitably someone at the table screws it up every time, and then this man's head explodes every time because
it's not that hard.
Well, what happens is it's always the A&P person too, because like I'm taking from Scott and I'm passing to Carson, and Carson will be staring at his hand for 20 minutes, and I'll put a deck in front of him, and then Scott's already handed me another deck, and I'm like, oh, okay, well let me lay that there because Carson's not ready yet. But then Scott's laid a second deck there, and I'm like, Carson's not ready yet, and they keep piling up, and eventually it just gets completely lost, and no one knows where any deck is, and Corey has 6 decks beside him because Carson won't make a decision.
That literally happened the last time we played as a group.
Oh, no, it did, except Carson was the one giving me the decks, and instead of laying them in stacks in front of each other, he was putting them on top of each other. He had like 4 decks, and he just kept putting them on top of each other.
I will say this, we restarted Winter Haven Woods 2 times. It took us 3 rounds of drafting to get through it.
The first time we figured it out, too, was because I picked up the deck he had made, and went, how many cards are we supposed to have? Oh, 4? I have 13.
Yeah.
I noticed quick there was a problem.
Yeah.
Really? You don't say.
I still love drafting though. It's great. I actually have a insane amount of drafting games in my top 100. I actually kind of wish I would have gone through and like checked my top 100, like, you know, how many of these should I have in there. Drafting's probably near the top. I have a lot of drafting games in there.
Good stuff.
Yeah. Well, drafting's also a mechanic too that's slid into games. Like,
oh yeah,
we always say, I don't care how many minis are in the game. Blood Rage is a drafting game. I don't care how many minis are in it. It
has area control. It's a drafting game.
It's a drafting game. The game is decided the moment your hand is dealt. Like, that's when the game is decided. At that point, you have to screw it up to lose.
Yep.
Or you're playing with Lucas and you just lose. That's another option. So yeah, number 6, drafting. I'm going to call it first. It's going to be probably I'm going to say it's our only 3-way crossover. I'm going to say it is. Alright, number 5.
Number 5. So these 2 are pretty close for me, the next 2, and I think that they are probably not going to be on anyone else's list. Communication limits. I love games that stop you from talking. And I enjoy things like The Game. I enjoy things like Hanabi. I enjoy, like where you don't know things and you can't tell other people the things you know. And I think they're fun because they're frustrating in an interesting way. And then if you play the game super seriously, that's a fun game. But if you play the game with a little bit of loose, it's also a fun game.
Specifically because I'm about to say the same 2 words like 8 times in one sentence. The game that gets the most flack is The Game because people hate the name of the game. Like, it's literally just called The Game, so everybody hates the name of it. It is one of my favorite games to the rules because, like, you can't say anything, but the moment one of those decks is for you, you go, if you touch it, I'll kill you!
I've never really watched anybody play it seriously though.
Oh yeah,
There's a playthrough I specifically think of as by ProZD. Look it up on YouTube. That playthrough is the most intense. Like I feel like my whole time I'm sweating for them.
The ProZD same. He has another video of another game playing super seriously, and I actually don't enjoy it because I could never do it ever. The Mind. I watched him play the Mind, and I'm like, nope, that's not happening ever.
Oh, it's so good though.
Nope.
So anyway, Communication Limit's absolutely top tier.
Can I have permission? Can I shoe edge it?
Yeah.
How do you feel about my favorite type of limited communication, like in Shadows over Camelot? That's like, you can't say numbers. Is it? So many gamers hate this. Genuinely, so many gamers hate it. But I love it. It makes me laugh, belly laugh every time. It's like, you're trying to describe the number one, so you're like, hey, I can get this party started. I'm bringing the chips and salsa. I'm showing up. And the next guy's like, I'm a little fashionably late, but I'm there. I'm coming. Yeah, you need me to pick anything up on the way? Like, that's my favorite type of women communication. It's so good. Like, but I hear people complain about that because they like, I guess, find it cheesy or corny or whatever. I belly laugh every time. I'm like, this is great. I don't care who the trader is. Keep talking.
I think they're two very different games. But see, I like that that's an option, and Communication Limited games, in my opinion, give you that place. With the group you're with, you can play it super seriously and it'd be very, very difficult in that regard, or you can bend the rules a little bit and it's absolutely hilarious.
Yes.
So
yeah. Love it. I wouldn't have guessed that. Like, thinking about you, I now, like, it's like, duh, I know you love those games. That's a very polarizing mechanic that most people tend to not like. So seeing it on a list like this is surprising.
Well, they can be wrong. I don't care.
It just gives Lucas more opportunity to socialize with his friends about things other than the game while they play the game. Because you can't talk about the game.
I'm impressed, not counting your Yu-Gi-Oh pick. I went all the way to 32. You guys have named 3 that I didn't even list. And it's not because I didn't like them, I just didn't think of them.
4 with the Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah, we don't count the Yu-Gi-Oh pick. We don't count that.
My number 5 is perhaps the oldest board game mechanic, and that's dice rolling. Period. End of story. Every once in a while, it's nice to have your entire fate in the game hinge on some click-clack math rocks. You either win or you die, based on random chance.
Just because of the way you phrased it, I 100% thought you were about to say roll and move, and I was going to ask what's wrong with you. I thought that's where he was headed, and I was like, hold on, Scott, we got to talk. We got to have a conversation here.
Just dice rolling.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. I mean, that's a very broad one, but I mean, yeah, like, it's, again, goes back to this excitement for me. Like, anytime you just see dice, you're excited. You know what I mean? Because that's kind of how I am with, like, that's how a lot of people are with minis. They're like, I kind of don't care what the game is. If it has minis, I'm at least interested. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, like, for you, it's, oh, I get dice? Cool. Yeah, that's fair. I feel that way about, honestly, like, just meeples. Like, I like when you give me, like, the special ones, right? Like, sure, that's cute, but honestly, when you just give me a basic little meeple, I'm like, all right, what's happening here? I like this.
This little guy's going to go somewhere.
It's like, he's going to do some things. Let's see what's up. I don't know. I really like it, so I feel that. I love it.
Your entire brand is around meeples. So
it is! Yeah. I was like, I know I'm wearing it somewhere. It's on my body. I don't know where, but here it is today.
Eventually he's going to get it tattooed on his forehead.
I mean, give me time. I'm working on it. It'll be here somewhere. We're figuring that one out, but it's coming. It's coming. All right, my number 5. One day I'll get this down. One of these days. It's like when me and you go to the gym. I literally have to ask him all the time, like, how many sets have we done? How many reps have we done of something? Because me and numbers don't do numbers. No. My number 5. Engine building. I mean,
yeah,
there it is.
I give you engine building. It's everywhere in here. Earth, wingspan, distilled, engine building. We literally talk about how I am about efficiency. I literally like to go, these cogs are about to cog the crap out of themselves because I am about to make this thing go. So, literally go back and watch my top 100 and be prepared for my top 100 coming up this year because there's a lot of games that I've played a lot of games this year. Engine building is littered through it, and engine building is littered in the top 25. I mean, this is a weird statement. If you were talking about favorite games with the same mechanic, engine building should be my number one. But because of how I did my list, my top 4 I get more excited about, if that makes sense. Because my list is listed by excitement, not by which one do I like more, if that makes sense.
Sure.
So if you're going just off, I like this one, engine building would be number 1. Because I mean, it's literally, I bet I have 10 in my top 25. Because I love engine building. So yeah, these next 4 are very exciting.
All right, so let me go find some specific wording for this because this
Oh, boy.
matters.
Does it though?
Number 4 is variable player powers.
Yes, yep. I knew this would be on your list.
Love unique characters.
Yep.
I don't mind people being able to do everything the same. I really like when everybody has different objectives and like that makes it interesting. Like, and don't get me wrong, like Villainous is really cool in that regard, and I think they're very thematic. But like, to me, that one is lower than some of the ones I've played with other things. Like I mentioned it earlier, Ahoy is so much fun when there's multiple people and you're all doing random things and no one has the same objective, or well, in that case, there's 2 people who have the same objective you're playing with 4, but their objectives are the same in a way that like you can completely ignore each other, but the other 2 people can't ignore you and they can't ignore each other, and you can ignore them. It's such a fun time. I really enjoy the ability to do different things, have different objectives, and then like have your specific abilities allow you to do certain things while other people are really excelling in other places. I just think it's really cool.
I mean, I'm going to reach for this low-hanging fruit.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, Root do that good.
Yep.
Root do that good. Thank you, Scott. This is what you're here for.
Got your back.
I mean, yes. I mean, variable player powers, I would argue, like, I've had this conversation before about, like, you know, why games are rated so high, like on the BGG's Top 100, for example, is that, like, so many people, like, let's say a game is, like, would be rated an 8. But so many people have it as their number 1 favorite game of all time that it goes up. Perfect example is Spirit Island. Spirit Island is, most people I think, somewhere between a 7, 8, 8.5 for most people. But then there's this giant chunk of people where it is their number 1 game of all time. I think that's how variable player powers work. Most people go, yeah, that's a good mechanic to have. I like that in games. That's a good thing. Cool. But then there's this giant chunk of people. If it doesn't have this, I don't want to play it. Number 1 thing. Everything has to be different. Everyone has to have their own thing going on. Like so many people, that's their number 1.
Well, it just bakes in more replays. Because like, I want to play as that character. I want to play as that character. I want to try this objective. Like, it makes you want to play the game again.
Yeah. No, you're not. Well, see, yes, I agree with you entirely. I actually kind of get annoyed with that sometimes, only because I want to play so many games that I get a little frustrated sometimes. That's like, I don't have time to play you 12 times. But I want to see all the characters now. But I don't have time. I have many other games I want to play. So I actually get a little annoyed with that sometimes. Just a little. Like, I think I prefer more when it's like, you can get the full experience in 3 plays.
I'm going to find your Gloomhaven box, put that on the table.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Because, I mean, the game I just mentioned, Spirit Island, like, there's so many different characters, and, like, once you add in the expansions, too, I'm over here like, it's too much. Just give me one. I don't even care anymore. Actually, give me the Fear Guy. I want to play him every single time. The Fear Guy is so fun. Literally, you're just like, oh, I can destroy nothing. My entire strategy is booga booga. I love it. It's fantastic. While this man's over here like, I'm trying to hold the world together. Stop scaring people. We won that game.
We did.
Anyway, that's a good one. I like it.
Oh yeah, it's me now. My number 4, area control. I like being able to look someone across the table, thump my chest and say, this is my house. Come in my house and find out.
So you're telling me the guy who really likes war games likes area control?
You don't say.
Never would have got that one. Never seen that one coming. I mean, it's very Scott.
Yeah.
Scott is literally the guy that comes in, takes your seat, and says, make me move.
But
Yeah.
I've done that.
That's fair.
See, area control to me is fun, but I really hate the like back and forth. I hate when somebody's like, "Hey, I'm gonna take it." I'm like, I just took that, and like, yeah, I'm taking it now. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna take it back. And they're like, well, guess what I'm gonna do next turn? I'm gonna take it right back. I'm like, I hate that. I hate you so much.
I love that because then you get to sit back and go, well, they're fighting about that. Where can I be?
See, I I like area control when it's I'm doing my own thing, who's just doing more of it. The ones that frustrate me, this isn't really area control, but it's kind of the King of the Hill aspect, almost like King of Tokyo kind of deal. I know it's not area control, but it's like, I just spent all these resources to gain this one thing, and now anyone can come in and smack me out of it because I just spent all my resources. So it's like, how quickly do you want to get to that place? How much you want to spend? You have to save up ahead of time. Like, I know that's the whole strategy behind it, but I think I get too frustrated because I'm just like, okay, well, I'm weak now. No one hurt me.
I mean, there are feel bads, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Picture my first game of Scythe. It was one big feel bad.
That's another story. This poor man. This baby got put in the corner.
Real early.
Real early.
It makes you feel better. Corey's been there.
Yeah.
He played Game of Thrones.
Yeah. Happens to the best.
He got
of
to watch
us.
people play.
Next time's going to be different.
Yeah.
Next time's going to be different. I'm coming out with a vengeance. I will start real fights in this game.
I hope you do.
The first person that attacks me, I'm throwing hands.
As you should.
I will threaten people. I'll never go through that again.
No.
Okay. Yeah, I think you're going to stand alone on this one.
Yep, that's
But
fine.
I think you will, but obviously there's a giant swath of people who this is like, again, they're number 1, number 2, number 3. Like, giant swath, just not us.
It was in contention somewhere. It
It was in the 32. I'm pretty sure there was a 2 in front of it.
It's fine. We're different people. That's okay.
Yeah. But I just not even really into like the war game. Like, I know it's different, but it always typically dudes on a map or war game type things doesn't appeal to me. Like, the only reason I even like Blood Rage is because of the drafting. Like, I was being honest, the dudes on a map thing does not appeal to me. It's for that one specifically, it's the drafting.
I want the general pushy stick. I will be moving into North Africa.
I love it. All right, we doing number 4? Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm gonna ask every time. I don't know. You know what? I need to put a check mark beside each number after I do.
There you go.
There we go. I'm learning, guys. I'm learning.
Efficiency.
I'm learning. Okay, I've done it. It's the one. You were both wrong.
Oh,
These
wow.
guys guessed beforehand where this would be. They guessed 2 and 3. It's 4. I literally opened a game. It was Wormspan. Dug through this. Lucas was in the room next door. And he just heard me scream at the top of my lungs, "It has a rondelle!" I love rondelles. They're so fun. My favorite thing is to just look at it and go, I don't care if I lose this game. I'm going to go around that thing as many times as this game will allow me to do it. I'm going to push this thing to its limit till the wheels come off it. And I do it every time. Every single time. I just go round and round and round. I don't think anyone has ever gone further around a rondelle than me in any game I've ever played. Because I'm like, that's my strategy. Is it a winning one? I don't care. I'm just going to go around it.
Wheels on the bus go around.
Like, literally, I use this one all the time as my example, but Taverns of Tiefenthal, you get all the different numbered cards. I literally bleed the number 1 stack dry because that's the one that lets you go around the rondelle. Every time someone has an extra coin left over, they'll go, I mean, I guess I'll buy it. And I'm going, you can save it! You can save that coin for future rounds! I'm like, I want the whole deck! The fact that it runs out actually pisses me off. It makes me so mad. Because I'm over here, like, it runs out and I've got coins. I'm over here buying 2s and 3s and 4s, and I'm like, I want more 1s. I just want to go around. I just want to go around.
Corey's a simple man. He
Hey,
sees a rondelle, he go around.
I go round. I mean, genuinely, the reason I love them so much, other than just the enjoyment of going around them, is almost every rondelle does a similar thing. You get bonus stuff. You just go, boom, I get a cool thing. Boom, I get a thing. Boom, I get a resource. Boom, I get a card. Boom, boom, boom. Every time you do something, you just get a thing. And I'm like, free stuff, you say? Cool. Like, I like free stuff. Rondelles are fun. If you don't push them to their... If you have ever played a game with a rondelle, and you said, it didn't really shine for me, I didn't really love it that much, push it to its limit. Push it till it breaks. See if you have fun things. I promise you will. Just go, what's the record? I'm going to beat it. I promise you'll have a good time. You'll lose. I'm warning you now, you're not going to win. It's not gonna, I've never won a rondelle game. I don't think I have. Because it's not a winning strategy. Oh my god, no one has more fun than me at that table though. No one. It's not possible. Rondell's a good one. The way I talk about it, you think it'd be number one.
I was going to say, it's the only one I know that you've specifically pointed out, but like, this is my favorite.
I love Rondell so much. Honestly, I think the reason it falls to 4 and not higher is because I don't win. I never win. I come in last every time. But I'm like, I don't care. This is great.
We were talking off camera. Like I had it in my 10 slot. I was like, I don't care about Rondell's. It's just Corey will talk. Shut up about them.
We need more of them. There's not enough.
It was one of the first ones I looked at, and I was like, do I really like that?
I will stand alone. You know why? Neither of you have done it. You've never pushed it to its limit. You're too worried about winning.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like winning.
It's fun.
You know what you can try and win? The record. Go around it. Fight me on it.
Yeah, but then neither of us get it.
Yeah, Scott will win. It's fine.
No, I'm saying we both
probably win anyway.
Yeah, but then we both get less Rondell anyway. So like, if I just let you have
That's
more
fair.
Rondell,
Stay off my Rondell.
That's right.
Okay, I want you to remember these words. Next time we play taverns, if you buy one card, I'm coming across the table on you.
I've never played taverns.
If you buy one, I'm gonna come across the table.
I've never
on you.
purchased a one.
We're gonna play taverns. I like playing with people like you because it has now been stated he will not buy a one. I like Rondell's. We're gonna move on.
All right, number 3. This is when things get really predictable for me. Like these top 3, if you didn't put these on the list, if you're guessing for me, you don't know anything about me. Number 3 is role playing.
Oh yeah.
I like putting in games that don't even have it in there.
I would guess it's number 1.
It's not. No.
Oh, I would have guessed it's your number 2.
Okay. Well, it's close.
Yeah.
No, you'll know. No, when you hear number 2, you'll be like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I love role playing. I love role playing. Period. And like, not only in RPGs. Like RPGs are great. I love RPGs. Oh man, like tabletop RPGs. I like putting it into games. It makes games so much better. Like we've played Elder Sign. Elder Sign's a fine game. It's whatever it is. You put role playing in that game, you're gonna have a blast. You'll have the most fun you've ever had in your entire life. Like, and that's to me. That's
I feel like that's honestly any Arkham game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like any Arkham game, if it doesn't have a role playing aspect, just do it. Just do it.
I'll say this. I don't
Slow band on top.
If you were watching Legends of Evantris, then you would understand. You put role playing into Root, you'll have an absolute blast.
Yeah.
Like you can't not have a good time with it. I refuse to believe it. I think that you can make things better by playing a character, because then it lets you free yourself up to be something goofy or fun or serious or sad or whatever it may be. And I think that that's really interesting to a mechanic that allows you to play with the other people at the table as the pieces rather than just the pieces on the board.
No. I think he just gave us a suggestion for this year's retreat for Root. Because last year at our retreat, Root was by far the most played game. Mm-hmm. So it sounds to me like we need to play at least once this year, and we all role play. Especially because this year I'll have everything.
Oh, yeah.
I've got the Big Daddy one coming in. Hopefully. There's a lot going on right now. Yeah. Hopefully it's coming. But I'm worried now.
We'll see.
Anyway, we'll see.
My number 3, I like flying close to the sun. Push your luck games are my faves. There's always more that you can do, and there's always further you can fall.
Yeah. I want to shock you here, because I'm literally a gambler. Press Your Luck, it did not even crack my top 15. It was like
Really?
It was like 17, 18 for me.
I would have believed it had been close.
Yeah.
Yep, almost anyone, because I am literally Mr. Gamble, Mr. Press Your Luck. I'll tell you exactly why. I don't think it's done well. I can think of, off the top of my head, I can think of like 4 that I'm like, that was done well. Yeah, that's actually that's my favorite. My top 2 Press Your Luck games are in my top 30 all time. But after that, there's a gap. There's a pretty big gap in the ones I've played. It's like, I don't know. I feel like it goes back into the world of samey, but samey in the sense of, okay, so you do what this game did, but a little worse. Cool. Can you do it a little different?
Yeah.
But as far as the excitement, though, you know I get going.
Yeah.
I'm ready to go. So I'm with you. I just think it needs more fluidity.
As many times as I've heard tales of Clank, I just would have assumed that this one, because I mean that's one of those stories I've been told a number of times since it was played.
Here's the thing.
I was at the bottom, all the way at the bottom. If I'd have got out, man, I would have won. I'd have got it all.
See, here's what you're misunderstanding. Clank, I don't consider pressure luck. I consider that a challenge. that's a personal challenge for Corey to go as deep as you can and still make it work.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Gambler's
Here's the thing though, one day it's going to work and we're going to look at that score sheet and I'm going to frame it. And you guys are going to be embarrassed.
No, I'm going to be happy for you, Corey.
And I'll frame it. And I'm telling you, one day, I was literally as deep as you could possibly go. As deep as you could possibly go. You cannot be deeper. This man chickened out and ran for the exit. And I'm like, no!
I just saw which way the wind was blowing. I was like, Corey.
Oh, Tyler's in the middle too. And he looks at you going for the exit and looks at me in the pits and goes, well, my choice is clear. I turn around with a giant handful of gold and go, guys, dark down here. God, pressure like maybe should have been higher for me.
Ink and Gold by itself almost put it on my list.
Here's the problem with that one for me, so, this is a good problem to have. This goes into the same thing as One Night Werewolf. I don't like playing the game. I like running it. I do not like playing Ink and Gold, but I'll run it for you anytime.
God, that game was one of the most fun. I don't like pressure luck. I don't enjoy it. I wouldn't Clank. That part of it wouldn't be my thing. Oh man, that game got me.
Oh, there's 3 games that I actually need to maybe make a list of some kind about this because I'm sure I could think of more. There's 3 games that I like. If I never play these games again, I'm fine. But I'll run them for you any day of the week. Race at Bet, One Night Werewolf, and Ink and Gold. If I don't play them again the rest of my life, I think I'd be fine with that. But if I got to run them all the time, I'd be happy as could be. Yeah. I love running them. Yeah, that's one of the reasons. Because Ink and Gold for me, it's like I don't even consider it like a game for me because I don't play it. I just run it. Yeah. It is in my top 100 though because I love running it that much. All right. That was number 3. My number 3, this is where I'm kind of being a partial hypocrite. Partially. Because this list is, I keep saying about excitement. But this one doesn't excite me. But I breathe such a sigh of relief. The biggest, oh my God, thank you every time. Simultaneous play.
Oh, yeah.
Holy crap. Every time I'm reading the rule book, I'm watching how to play, and they're like, and then all the players can do this at the same time. I'm like, thank you. Oh my God, thank you. Thank you so much. This is wonderful. I don't have to sit here and stare at people forever and go, man, I'd really like to do something. And like you said, it's one of my biggest annoyances. I don't like being limited by player count because I don't want a game to take 5 hours. And it happens all the time. There are so many different games that I'm like, man, I really love this game. I would love to play it with a group. That's never happening. Period, end of story. I'm not doing it. I'll burn the game before I play with 4 or 5 people. I'm not doing it. And it's really weird too, the games that are clearly made for a group, right? But then their best player count's 2. And it's entirely because of time. Has nothing to do with the player, with the gameplay, because you can tell the game was balanced and made for 4. But you're like, man, that's 3.5 hours. Scott, me and you knocked this out in 2 max.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll give you a great example, Ark Nova. I don't know if I want to play Ark Nova more than 2. 3's pressing it. I might play with 3, but that's pressing it. It's a long game with 2. More people just going to add more time. That ain't going to add more fun for me. The only thing that it would add, play-wise, was you will see more cards. Cool, that's awesome. You could also just have a mechanic like a river that shows you more cards. Wouldn't that be great? So that's one of my issues. So when I see simultaneous play, it's not so much excitement, it's a sigh of relief that this designer doesn't hate us. So yeah, number 3. Alright, top 2.
Top 2. Number 2 for me, once again, you're going to know. The second you hear it, you're going to go, okay. Storytelling.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I was right about something.
Yeah.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that.
Storytelling is not number 2.
I have to ask, though, because I know people are thinking it. Role-playing and storytelling, a lot of people wouldn't have been upset if you'd have done a slash.
I would.
You know what I mean?
I would, because
No, that's fair. That's why I'm
asking. And so, for me, there's 2 pieces to it. There are storytelling games that don't require you to play a part, but they'll require you to tell a story together. One of the ones I would say is called Adventure. It's one of my favorite games. It doesn't require role playing. In fact, that's a game that you really can't do role play with. It just doesn't work well. You could, but it takes a lot of work. So that game, though, at the end, you're all telling a story of these adventurers who've come together to overcome these things in order to overcome, especially if we're playing cooperatively, to overcome this big bad evil at the end. And so I think that for me, and I've got a couple of them. There's a couple of games that are not particularly, popular, but there's a game called Weave that I really enjoyed. I got to play with a couple of groups well before I even played with you all. And then, even looking at something like the Adventure Zone board game, there's some role playing involved with it, but like the storytelling itself is more just telling the story.
Oh yeah.
So for me, when I look at it,
that was an experience.
It was an experience.
For some reason, y'all let me run that.
We can never tell that story.
No,
that's a game that I can never tell you what happened then.
I will never tell a soul. That's a story that dies with us.
Yeah, it does.
Oh my God, we'll never forget it.
Or at least it dies in public. It'll be told behind closed doors for years. God, man.
Why did y'all let me run it?
I don't know.
Of anyone, you picked me.
I didn't choose that. I didn't pick it. But it was a great game. And so the thing is, to me, the difference between the two is in role playing, I have a character and Lucas is removed from the equation and I'm inserting someone else. And that's the interaction of the players. Storytelling is the outcome of the game. Because I can play role playing in Elder Sign, but there's no storytelling. I mean, you can, but it's not really that. It doesn't work the same.
The story there is a byproduct of the role play, not the mechanic.
Correct. And storytelling as a mechanic to me, and there's a lot of games who do this well. I would even argue to some extent, games like Stone Age, you're telling the story of your. It's not explicit. And it's definitely not written in the rules, so you're not going to see that anywhere. But that's kind of what you're doing it.
Literally, my question to you was about to be, how do you feel about storytelling as the mechanic versus implied? Because role player, you're creating a character, and depending on if you play with expansions, you're fighting the monster, et cetera, et cetera. You can imply storytelling there.
Yes.
Where's that divide for you?
So I think they're fine together. I'm fine with putting those both together. I like it as a direct mechanic, but I also enjoy it as a part of, because to me, not every game can do this, but a lot of them can. You're telling a story together, and because that's one of my favorite things. When I finish a board game and I can go tell a story. If it's a part of the mechanics, awesome. If it's not a part of the mechanics, but the gameplay allows me to tell a story, to me that is still a mechanic within itself of that game. Because there are certain games I'll never be able to tell a story of. Wingspan's a great example. I love Wingspan. It's on my top of my list.
All three of us, if you go back and watch our top 10 games of all time, all three of us, it's top 4? I think it's top 4 for all three of us. Because I think it was 1, 3, 4, I think.
It wasn't that low for me. I think it was 3.
Oh, so it was 1, 3, 3, I think. So, boom. All three of us, top 3 game of all time.
Yep.
Yeah. But anyway, just continue.
But so my thing is, I'm never going to tell you a Wingspan story. It's a great game, but mechanically it's fun.
I'll say other than the story of Corey can't win ties.
Yes, but see,
that's a different kind of story.
Right, but that's at the end, and it's not really a story of the game. It's more of the situation. But there's so many games where it's this board. The Blood Range is a incredible story of to me of this kept happening and this kept happening and this kept happening, and because these things were happening over here, this was happening over here, and it all met at the end. And so that's a story in itself. So all that to say, that's how I enjoy playing games and so you'll notice a theme here, the top 3. To me, I enjoy playing when the pieces on the table aren't the only parts involved.
No.
Which is also why I will say, mechanically, Luke's brain loves to take that aggressive, I'm going to ruin things, but I'd much rather come to the board. I like coming to the table where everything is involved, and at the end, I get to walk away with something with the people, not just what happened on the table.
That's fair. No, that obviously fits you.
100%.
100%. Yeah. Okay.
All right. My number 2 is a little bit of a journey. I need you to follow me. It's trading, but don't bring the Catan in here. Get that on my face. I'm talking about deregulated trading, where I can trade you anything for anything. Yeah, that whole territory, give you 2 wood for it. How about I buy one of your workers? Like, a lot of this is probably like below table, like house ruling stuff.
Yeah.
But like even like playing Monopoly, it's like, yeah, you could pay my rent, or you could just give me that boardwalk real quick. Like, that kind of horse trading.
Oh yeah, well I mean here's one where it's actually in the rule book, Sheriff Nottingham. It's like, hey, don't open my bag. Here's some money. Or you, my favorite way to bribe in Sheriff Nottingham is like you're saying, literally be like, there's 3 apples in that bag. Don't check it, and you can have 2 of them. But then they open it up, there's not a single apple in that bag. So like, boom, I told you apples. These crossbows don't look very appley to me. So yeah, I would have never thought this high, but I can agree that makes any game interesting. Yeah. I'm literally sitting here thinking, like you said, a lot of that has to be house ruled. Like that's not really a mechanic in a lot of games. But I mean, granted, I like Catan. I don't, I enjoy. That's one of the things about Catan that really brought me into board gaming was I was like, hold on. You mean like I can give you things, but it's not a straight trade? I can be like, man, this sheep's at a premium. Give me your entire hand, and you can have this sheep. And sometimes people will do it, and you're like, all right, sounds great. Oh wait, I see why you gave me these. So yeah, I love it. I'm literally sitting here thinking about how I can like house rule certain games to do this. I'm like, so Wingspan, you say, give me 3 eggs. I'll give you a worm. I'm like,
I don't know about Wingspan. It's a pretty finely tuned machine. Getting around, monkeying around, it's going to get real weird.
But what about Wormspan? Because there's a rondelle. We can really have some fun there. Be like, let me move forward 2 spots, and I'll give you 2 eggs. So let me press this a little further. I like it. All right, that's definitely off the beaten path, but I like it. All right, my number 2. Again, about excitement, I get incredibly excited about this, mostly just because Corey is a solitaire player that hates solo games. I love competitive games that I get to play my own game and then look up when the game's gone or over and go, dang, I did this better than you. I love it. And the easiest way to do that in any game is bonus objectives. I love bonus objectives. I like when they're public. I like when we all know what we're going for. My least favorite type, but I still enjoy all of these, is when it's like only one person can achieve this. Okay? That's the first step. The next step is any of us can achieve this, but whoever gets there first gets more points. Whoever gets there second gets certain points, right? But then all of a sudden you start getting into like the really good ones where it's like, okay, we all have objectives that are going to be revealed over the game, and we can all score them, but we don't know them until certain steps in the game. I'm like, okay, I like that. But then the key, I have cards. They tell me what do. I do things different than you, and if I do these things, I score points. That's my favorite type of hidden objectives. Well, I like bonus objectives, but hidden objectives are my favorites. And for anybody out there designing games, let us pick give us 2 cards, let us pick one to keep.
Yes.
Every round, I actually really like when the hidden objectives keep coming. It's like the game's done in 4 rounds. Every round, get 2 cards, keep one. Get 2 cards, keep one. But then at the end of the game, I love when they get super cool with it, where it's like at the end of the game you have 4, but you only get to score 2 of them, and you have to pick which 2 you're going to score. And like I love the further you press that envelope, the happier I am with it. But bonus objectives, I think, is one of the. But like you were talking about variable player powers. I'm not huge on variable player powers because I would very much prefer for my identity to be from an objective rather than an ability.
Well, you know what? Part of the reason why that is, and it's because of how you like to play games. You like to start at the same place and be able to beat people at their own game by playing the game more efficiently.
Yeah.
I enjoy the let's see the interaction between the 2 things. So I completely understand why that, like, the objective. Oh, my immediate thought when you said this, I was like, oh yes, because this is the bonus cards, man.
Yeah.
Every time it comes up in Wingspan, you're like, man, I really need food, but 2 bonus cards.
Literally, I have won games of Wingspan with over 200 points from just having 13 bonus cards that I have spent every single round getting, and then playing Redbirds that'll let me get food for free, and then just playing the bonus cards every round for free, and then going, man, I'm out of these bonus cards. Oh, look, there's more available. And just keep getting them over and over. Because, I mean, also, we talk about this all the time. I have, at this point, over, I think, like 1,200 hours in Wingspan across all the different types of play, phone, Steam, over the board, blah, 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 whatever. So, like, I've tried every strategy, and the one I come back to every single time is bonus objectives. I'm just like, give me more cards. And, like, me and Scott just played Wingspan Asia for the first time, and the bonus card birds in that one are even more cool than the base ones because they're like, hey, score one now and get another one. And I'm like, great, I've already finished one. Give me more. So, and then like there's other cards in just going back to Asia, there's other cards in the game that are like, copy another bird. Copy another bird, you say? I just scored another one. Give me more. I'm like, just keep feeding me bonus cards. And I like it in every game because, like, I mean, we just played Let's Go to Japan as well. And one of the micro mini expansions was nothing but bonus cards. And now, granted, do I wish they would just put it in the base game? Yes. But at least it exists. So, like, if you're going to make the game, first off, I personally get annoyed with micro expansions. The only reason I think they should exist is if, just to be honest, you printed the game and you like later was like, oh, you know what, that would have been a good idea. Yeah. That's the only time I feel like you get an excuse from me. If you planned your micro expansion, I'm like, how about you don't? Just give me the content. You know what I mean? But
all 5 cards in the box. Woo!
Exactly, right? Like so many times I'll like see the ones that bug me too because like they had to have planned something. Is like I'll open up a Kickstarter and it'll be like, here's 3 micro expansions. I'm like, I just got the game. What? So anyway, but yeah. So bonus cards for me, bonus objectives of any kind. Public ones are fine. Hidden ones are better. But I love bonus objectives. It gives you a path, and I love it. All right, before we move on to number ones, like we always do, honorable mentions. For me, I already told you earlier, my number 12 was Tech Tree. A couple of others, racing, bluffing, love things like that, trader, social deduction. But my number 11, betting. I love betting. If you're going back to my gambler, like I love like the press your luck. But really what gets me excited is the betting. Because it is pressure luck a little bit because it's like how much you want to put out there. But I like the strategy of going, I've got 50 gold. All right, I'm going to put 5 here and 10 there. And I'm going to keep back 10 just in case. And then, like strategizing that out, but then everything out there is, all right, let's see what happens. So I love betting. That was my number 11. Any honorables for you guys?
You guys got to all my honorables, I think.
I feel like I've mentioned all the ones I thought about before, like coming into it. I read through that whole list and clicked on everything I like wasn't sure about. There's things that I really wish I could have had. Like, there's a particular mechanic that I couldn't come up with a name for, and it's only in one game that I've ever played. But in Comic Hunters, there's a mechanic where there's like a grid of cards, and you can take all the ones that connect to each other, and you can move one. You get to move one singular card, and then you can take all the ones that connect. And then the next person takes all the ones that they want to take with connecting by moving one card. That mechanic was really, really fun, and there's a lot of gaming to it, because sometimes you want to move to connect more cards, but sometimes you want to move to stop other cards from being connected. There's no name for that. And I'll be honest with you, I've never seen it anywhere else, but gosh, it was fun.
See, that's something about this list that I actually had a little bit of trouble with until I decided to go a little bit more broad, is there are so many games that are famous for being unique, and you're like, man, that way they were unique. Love that, but it's a mechanic, but only for this game. You know what I mean? So, like, I mean, another one I'm literally looking at right now is Undergrove, the way the roots work. Like, I'm like, I can't think of another game that does that, but, like, that's a cool mechanic. I love putting the roots and trying to connect all the different mushrooms and stuff. Like, it's super cool. But, like, I can't think of another game that does that.
I mean, we're broad category. A good honorable mention might be, like, tile placement. Like, that's an honorable mention, probably.
Yeah. Well, specifically like the little triangles. That's what I mean. Like specifically the way you're connecting them. Like not only do you have to connect the tiles, then you have to connect the sapling to the tile. That's what I mean. It's like that extra layer. I can't think of another game that does that. You know what I mean? So like, but that's something that could have potentially made my list because I really like the way that works.
Yeah.
That's a trap with a list like this. Is like you could literally do a top 10 of singular mechanics from games.
Oh yeah, well I mean I would argue, in my opinion, one of the other things I like, and it's something that's rare, but you've mentioned it before in other games, I would argue that Ahoy has it to some extent too, is I like games within games. So like Comic Hunter having 4 different types of games. They're like 4 mini. It's like Mario Party. You're playing 4 mini games in order to get things while you're also playing this big game with this other thing.
I mean, Merchant's Cove.
So yeah.
Merchant's Cove. I mean, that's probably the clearest example for everybody. Like Merchant's Cove, just straight up mini games. Yeah. That's another interesting mechanic that I think would have probably been in my top 10 if I had played more games that do that. Is mini games within a game.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. Okay. All right, let's do number ones.
I don't need to look, and you probably don't need to look either. If you know how I am, you can guess the 2 together.
You're sadistic.
The last 2 go together in cooperative.
Yeah. But you know what doesn't go with your favorite being cooperative? You wanting to smack people the whole way. Every step of the game, just wanting to smack them.
Yeah, he does. He wants to smack him on the back. Good game, buddy. We did it.
I told you, like, the reason why is my favorite mechanics involve things that aren't on the board. And so for me, the cooperative piece is people working together for a singular objective. When you don't have to be the villain. There's something else that's the villain, and you're working together to achieve it. Because I feel like that struggle is really fun. And also for me, like, this is a small tangent, but man, like listening to the Epic, the musical, which is like this new thing about the Iliad and the Odyssey, and you're like listening to like these men who are like striving to get home, and there's just like brotherhood amongst them. That's how I get when I play cooperative games. I'm like, all right, boys, let's go. Like one of my favorite sets of memories was us playing. It's not even that great of a game. Playing that stupid Oregon Trail card game, and it's so hard.
We got it down. We finally got it.
It's stupidly difficult for no reason. But we played that thing for a year and a half. Every time we'd get together at least once, and we were like, we're going to win one day. And when we won it twice, we quit. We haven't
played since.
No, but man,
we went out on a high note.
That game's awesome.
I'm never getting dysentery again.
No. And then like the whole thing is like there's like a bond that gets built. You're like, all right, guys, one of these days we're gonna beat it. That's why like talk to me about like Spirit Island. It's like this game's really really hard. Let's put it on, crank it up.
Spirit Island.
I'm like, let's go, boys. Like we're gonna play it every single time everybody comes over because I'm ready to. We're gonna beat it on the highest difficulty.
Oh, I know. Once I finally sit you down and we all play Spirit Island, you'll be buying it, and you'll be hunting down the expansions too.
I'd be lying to you to say I hadn't already put it in a cart.
Yeah.
Might want to do it soon.
Yeah, you might want to do it soon, dude. There's a lot going on.
I'm well aware.
There's a lot going on. Yeah. Greater Than Games, you will be missed. Very, very much so. Anyway, please someone buy. I know you're going to, but please someone good buy the license to Spirit Island. Someone good, please.
And don't make the art worse.
Yes. Oh God. Parks. Anyway.
That's my
Quacks.
Both. Worst example.
Both.
Parks is at least okay. It's not as great, but it ain't bad.
Quacks is pretty bad.
It's very different.
Yeah, they're both pretty bad. Anyway, said I went all the way to 32 on mine. Cooperative was number 32. This is where me and Lucas differ.
I'm shocked it was number 32, to be honest with you.
I just stopped making the list at a certain point. If I'd have kept adding things, it probably would have went further down, but I just quit making the list at a certain point. Wherever the bottom is, I take it back. It's above roll and move.
Oh, yeah.
Probably. I famously talk all the time. My favorite cooperative games, I have 3 of them, and all 3, the highest I rate them is a 7.5. I have yet to play a cooperative game I will even give an 8. And for the exact opposite reason as you, I want to have that feeling that you have. I want it. Most of the time when I play cooperative, it tends to be me sitting here listening to other people spout terrible ideas and me go, what if we did not that? What if we did basically anything but what you just said? That would be great. And like I'm always trying to like not be the jerk and not like alpha game, so I'm like, let them make their own mistakes. It's gonna hurt you, but let them make their own mistakes. It's fine. So that tends to be where I win with cooperative. See, however, Spirit Island is one of those 3 that I gave a 7.5 because, and I told him when we played it twice. You're not really doing that. There's so much going on in the game itself that you're like, I don't care what you're doing. I got my own stuff to worry about. You just let me know what happens over there, okay? Cool. Like, there's so much going on that you can't alpha game, and you can't really worry about other people too much. You do a little bit, then you're like, all right, just do, okay, cool, sounds good, bro. I'm doing this.
And I would say, like, because one of the ones that that's not very high on my list, even though I like playing it, is Horrified. So I feel like Horrified, especially at higher difficulties, there's only like 1 or 2 courses of action. I like games where you can guess. Like, you got to talk about it. You got to figure out what you're going to do next. And then there's options. So, yeah, I would agree that the Spirit Island might actually drop a little bit because there's like less cooperation. Yeah. It's like you are cooperating, but it's passive.
Well, see, I would argue Spirit Island, though, you will like, because it does give you a lot of that brotherliness where it's like, we're doing our own things, but oh my God, we're in this together. We're going to sink or swim.
You're locking horns with this board game. Only one of us is coming out alive.
Literally. Like, you're like, we're together on this. I don't care what you're doing, but we're together. Yeah. I don't hate cooperative. For me, it tends to be a people problem. And by people, I mean it's probably my own fault. It's probably more me than everyone else at the table. It just tends to be my brain is like, no.
It's the efficiency.
It is the efficiency because people aren't efficient.
No.
They're very horribly inefficient. All right, lay it on us.
My number one, I was going to put a different mechanic, but it's very similar to one on my list. I'll give you a hint. It's my favorite way to play Magic the Gathering. It's draft.
Oh, duh.
I love deck building. It's very similar to engine building in a way, but I think the best way to deck build is a draft, because then you get a lot of hidden information. You get to, card selection away from your opponents. It's just really fun.
It is. Draft is fun. And I love how many different types of drafting there is. Like most people, you say the word drafting, people think, oh, you're passing around a hand of cards. But like, there's so many different types of drafting. You've got tiles, you literally have, for example, Sagrada, you're literally drafting dice, based on color and number and all these things. Like, there's so many different ways you can do drafting. Like, obviously, cards is the first thing you're going to go to. But even then, there's different ways of doing it, because then you've got set collection versus you're going to be using powers and blood rage. Like, it's not the same thing every time. Like, drafting is such a mix and match of everything. I agree. Also, do we not have a 3-way crossover?
Nope.
This man didn't say drafting.
No, I didn't.
You didn't say worker placement.
Nope. There's no 3. Nope. Yeah, I knew when you said it, I was like, no, sorry.
You didn't say market or river or anything.
Nope. No, we didn't.
No 3-way. And you didn't say simultaneous play. We did.
No.
Dang, not a single one. I thought for sure it'd be drafting.
Simultaneous play might have ended up on my list. How I thought about it, but it didn't even cross my mind. But
Yeah.
now, and here's the reason why. Drafting irritates me.
Because everybody screws it up.
No. Because I look at the things and then go, wow. Or I get of 1 of 2 minds. Wow, I'd like to keep all of this, or
This all sucks.
oh no, this is going, and now I'm counting. This is going to get back to me 3 times. Oh no, and now everybody's like, man, I'm so glad I got this one great card in my hand, and I'm like, okay. Here's what I had left over. Wow, you must have really got something good out of that hand. Yeah.
See, I mean, we're going to talk about it because we just played it. That's why I like when they throw in a mix of don't see a play day. It's like there are bad cards. You must take them. Yep. You have no choice. There's no, I'll give the bad cards to the next person. You have to take some bad cards. And if you don't take enough bad cards, you're like Corey, and you're just voted off the island.
But
because
have you taken one
rest
more?
Your luck.
But have you taken one more? 4 of us.
One person would have won by default. If I take one more, one person wins by default. That's, to me, some people would call that poor design. I call that incredible.
No, I think that's great.
I call that absolutely amazing.
Yep,
Anyway.
I agree.
All right, my number one. Can we all say it together? Hidden movement. It's great. I am probably the only person in the industry, the only content creator you will see out there that will have this, maybe even on their list, let alone their number one. I see so much more hate for hidden movement than I see love for it. I get it. You're doing it wrong. It's your fault. It's not the game, it's your fault. First way it's probably your fault is you're probably trying to do some 1v all verse thing. I say this all the time. There are very few hidden movement games that work 1v all. It's actually 1v1 is the way you should be playing most of the time. There's a couple it works. Like if you're Dracula, I think you can play more than 1v1. Spectre Ops, you can play more than 1v1, but it's still good at 1v1.
Yep.
But that's the first thing. If you say you don't like hidden movement, try it 1v1 and then talk to me. That's the first way. The second way is you're too serious about it. Let's go back to how I am about the Rondelle. You're just being too serious about it. My favorite way to play hidden movement, especially when I win, is to just dab on the people and be like, oh, Lucas don't know where I am? You know, I could easily win if I just go right over there. I'm gonna go stand next to him and see what happens. I do it all the time. Like, I think that's the reason some of these mechanics work so well for me. Because like even talking about the way I do like bonus objectives and the way I do Rondelle and hidden movement, I just find the fun in it. I'm like, this mechanic, I'm just like, how can I make this fun? Like, am I gonna win? I don't know. I'm gonna have more fun than you. And that's how I am with hidden movement. Because like, I have literally multiple games of playing Lairs from Whitechapel with you, where I've done laps around you.
Yep.
Your character, and you've won most of them. Like, I think our like win percentage of Whitechapel is like maybe 30-70, maybe even 20-80. Like, you win the vast majority of the time. But it's literally because I'm like, huh. Or I'm like, all right, how many steps am I allowed to take? 15. Let's find the only path where I have to take 15 steps in this exact order and see if I can make it work. And everybody's sitting here going, Corey, that's not how you play the game. I'm like, that's how I play the game. And I have fun. But yeah, I love hidden movement. I love the stress. I actually like playing both sides too. I like being the one that hides more. I always say that games where I can hide, 10 out of 10. Most of the time, the game where someone else is hiding and I'm searching is still usually an 8 or a 9. Like, I still really enjoy it. I just like hiding more. Because, like, I mean, Lairs from Whitechapel, Fury Dracula, Spectre Ops, all of these, Hunt for the Ring, all of them for me, it's like, I'll hunt for you all day long. But if I can hide from you, now we're talking. Especially because you get stories like when we played Scotland Yard at the first retreat, where were you in that? Yeah, I know you were. Where I'm hiding. I pulled the absolute greatest move that I've ever done in my life playing a hidden movement game. I'm like, all right, you guys talk about this. I'm confident. I'm chilling, right? Go get a snack or something. We joke all the time in our group that Tyler, who you guys will see at Gen Con, we're very similar thinking humans. We're very similar. I hear from the corner of the room Tyler go, hey guys, if it was me, I would have done this. I'm like, what? No one else would do that but me and you.
And that's what I did.
I lost the game in like 4 turns.
Oh no.
Because I absolutely dabbed on him. But then the one human on this planet who thinks like me was like, you know, what if he did this? And I hear Scott go, it is Corey. I like hidden movement. That's my number one. All right.
Yep.
I'm the only one. Wait, because I know you kind of like it. How close would it? I know you don't like it. How close would it have been for you? Would it have been 15?
Oh yeah, easily.
15.
Because the problem is, so I really actually considered it. But the problem is, it goes back to it's the competitive piece of it. Like it's a match, like a match of wits, and I would much rather match my wits against something else with you than I would match wits against you, because then I feel like there's like an implicit judgment that comes at the end of that game, and that's frustrating.
But yet, two of your favorite games of all time are Shobu and Element.
So yes,
Which is literally nothing but Battle of the Wits.
But I don't play Shobu. I don't play Shobu that way. Shobu to me is a peace game. It's kind of like how people play chess. Like some people play chess that way. I think of it genuinely as I want to be the grandpa who's like, come on over here, sonny, let's talk about life. You know, sometimes you have to lose a piece in order to win. That's how I look at Shobu. And then like with Element, I've only played it with one of like 2 players. I'm curious to see how it'd be with 4, but to me that one is that's a luck game to some extent. Like you're drawing things out of a bag, which is shocking to me. That was not higher on your list.
So one, I didn't even put it in the 32 because I forgot it. I will say it when it cracked top 10, probably maybe top 15, because I love the pressure luck / randomness of it, but for me, it wouldn't have even been bag pulling would have made it. It'd have been bag building.
That was the mechanic
I
I
like
looked at.
building the bag, not the pressure like so much from pulling from the bag. Because like even like the quacks, like it's pressure like from pulling from the bag. Yes, you're building your bag, but I prefer building that bag as opposed to pulling from it. If that makes any sense. Like it's the strategy of what statistical odds can I give myself is the fun part to me. Is playing the math. But yeah, so all right. That is our top 10 game mechanics. This was our April list. For May, I think we're going to do top 10 next level games. Or, I'm going to leave a poll up, we're going to do top 10 games that we champion.
Wow.
I may shoe wedge a game in there. Just might. Anyway, I'm going to put that poll up for you guys to vote on. So either you guys want to see those top 10 next level games. It's like, okay, you've played Ticket to Ride, now let's play this. You've played Catan, now let's play this. Do you want to see that? Or do you want to see what 10 games do we say identifies us? These are the 10 Scott games, the 10 Lucas games. And it's not just going to be like our top 10 games because you could argue I'm the Wingspan guy, it's my number one. But I'm not going to say I'm the Wingspan guy when this is both their number threes. So, like, I'm not going to take that when we all clearly love it. So, which list do you want to see more? We'll put that out there. But, hope you guys have enjoyed it. Be sure you hit the like button, subscribe. There's so much more coming. All of the conventions are right around the corner. Me and Scott are going to Origins. We're all going to Gen Con. We've got a crew going this year. I'm going to be working directly with Gen Con in some capacity. We'll have some more on that later. I'm going to be going to PAX Unplugged. I'm going to be going to the Dice Tower Cruise. There's so much coming for the rest of this year. So, be sure you subscribe. I hope you guys enjoy it. We'll see you next time. Bye.
I don't like to see people lose. I really enjoy being the reason they don't get to have fun. Who are you?
Every time we play Blood Rage, the entire table looks at me and goes, not today, son.
I want to be the grandpa who's like, come on over here, sonny, let's talk about life. You know, sometimes you have to lose a piece in order to win.
Wheels on the bus go round.